Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Paths of Bullying at my MCM studio. My name is Cheryl Kravitz, and with me today is Quajalyn Amos, who is a volunteer with the Montgomery County Family Justice Center. Today, we are going to discuss paths to bullying, why it's important, what to look out for, and what we can do about it. Welcome, Quajalyn.
Hi, how you doing, Cheryl?
Very good, thank you. The first question I have for you, bullying is such a scary thing. Can you tell me a little bit about what it is?
Bullying comes in many rare shapes and forms. There's 4 specific types of bullying. We have the physical bullying, which we all know is the shoving and the pushing and the hitting. We have the verbal bullying, which is the hurtful comments and the name calling. And then we have the social one, which is using relationships to bully an individual. But I think the most common one nowadays is cyberbullying. And I think it's becoming most common because it's something that can be done 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you don't even have to be around the person to do it. And it's reaching a wider audience, which is hurting the person who's being bullied even more.
How common is it, particularly cyberbullying? Because you're talking about Facebook, texting, things like that, is that correct?
I think it's more common than the physical bullying nowadays. It's so much so that you can be asleep and you wake up and all of a sudden there's all these messages on social media about you that's bullying you. It's causing kids to not want to go to school. It's causing them to withdraw. It's even causing them to change their eating habits.
Really? So how do you think bullying should be addressed? What is it that we can be doing about it, particularly cyberbullying?
Well, I think if we monitor our children's computers to see what they're actually doing on there, that's a great way to stop it. I think if we're even monitoring our children who are being bullied, their computers, to see what messages are coming to them. There's a lot of parental controls on social medias. Parents just don't choose to use them because sometimes they think, what's the harm that can be done? But if you actually sit there and you watch them in the way that other children are attacked on social media, it's very harmful. It's a very harmful effect. It's causing depression in children. It's making them withdraw. They're not doing the normal activities like they normally do. And they just become standoffish from other people.
Well, those are some of the signs. What are some other signs of bullying that we should look for in kids?
You might have a child who likes to go to school and all of a sudden they don't want to go to school, they're sick all the time. It's a loss of appetite. It's a loss of sleep because they're fearful of what's going to happen the next day. And it's just, if you take the time to know your child and look out for the signs and to actually listen to your child, you can kind of pick up on the signs quite easily.
What are some of the effects on a victim of bullying? What should we be looking for?
Well, you know, they're withdrawing from society. They're not wanting to be social. You have a child who is normally out and about and now all of a sudden they don't want to leave their room. You have a child who's very talkative and now they're not talking at all.
And what are some of the other signs of depression? For instance, eating, very quickly, what's something?
Binge eating is a sign. Not eating is a sign. Sneaking food into their rooms. It's like one of those, you're eating your depression away. You're trying to eat your feelings. Those are all signs to look for when it comes to eating and bullying.
Okay. Crying, anything like that?
Well, I'm imagining there's quite a few tears when they're being bullied by their classmates and their peers.
Okay. Thank you, Quajalyn. Right now, we are going to take a short break for a public service announcement.
What is the difference between a photographer and a visual artist?
Well, the difference is not a lot. To put it simply, I'm a visual artist. Okay, I use photography, but I use other means to express myself.
Montgomery Community Media offers many courses.
Half the people getting to know these awesome people whom I work with and I'm learning with, and great teachers, and it's also like, oh, this is how TV works.
When I'm watching shows like talk shows or even, exercise shows, things like that, I look at it so differently.
That kind of like, there is a guy sitting at a giant board filled with buttons just pushing them. That makes sense.
We teach our students how to be the reporter, the shooter, and the editor for their very own news pieces.
This is a good opportunity to learn about different ways of documentary and editing.
My dad got an email from someone and he told me it was going to be a good opportunity to learn how to edit, shoot videos, and interview people.
It's really good, and you should come to MCM Backpack Journalism class because it's exciting and it's actually really fun.
MCM to me means opportunity. It's giving me the opportunity to gain experience on an actual show that airs on the network. And I don't think I'll be able to get that experience anywhere else. So it's been a great experience for me so far.
For anybody that hasn't taken one of the MCM classes, I encourage you, go out, try it, you won't regret it. You'll have an experience that you're gonna see how the cameras work, and actually an opportunity to be part of video production. That's what I would recommend anybody that's interested in MCM.
Welcome back. My name is Cheryl Kravitz, and with me in the studio today is Quajalyn Amos, who is a volunteer with the Montgomery County Family Justice Center. In the first half of the show, you shared with us about different types of bullying, the importance of combating bullying, and the signs of bullying. Now we'd like to hear about what we can do about bullying.
Well, Montgomery County has an excellent Stop the Bully Montgomery program, in which so far it's reached 4,500 middle school students. 500 more are slated to be affected by it, and it's in its third year, and it's actually a program that's funded by a grant from Verizon.
So what should a child who is being bullied do?
The main thing they should do is talk. They need to tell an adult. They need to get over the stigmatization of tattletaling on their friends, and they need to let somebody know what's going on. And if they don't feel comfortable telling an adult, then they should tell one of their friends what's going on.
What can friends do to help?
Well, friends can actually rally around their friend and let that bully know that that person is not alone. Oftentimes, a bully may pick their mark, so to say, because they think that person does not have friends. And if they realize that they actually have a support system, they tend to back off some. And even if that doesn't work, then that friend can also go to a teacher or their friend's parents or their own parent to let them know what's going on.
What can friends do and adults do to help? Particularly adults.
Adults need to stay engaged. They need to listen. They need to watch what's going on. Oftentimes we listen to our children, but we're really not picking up on those context clues that they're dropping to us. And if we just take the time to sit to them, actually listen, and then watch for their reaction to certain things and their change of habits, then we'll be able to pick up. And I always say that parents need to stay engaged with the schools. If you're engaged with the schools and you know what's going on, then you're better able to recognize when bullying is happening, and then you're better able to tackle it.
What are some programs in the schools? You mentioned one. Is there something that teachers, principals can do to help kids?
Well, we have the Montgomery County Choose Respect program, which gears towards middle schoolers and high schoolers. And it's actually coming up April 2nd, 2017 at Richard Montgomery High School. It's an all-day event from 9 to 4:30 p.m. and it's an excellent area for workshop for children as well as youth providers. And I think the best thing about that program is they actually separate the children from the adults for these workshops so that the children are more comfortable to talk and be open.
What's an example of one of the workshops at Choose Respect? As an adult, have you been to one?
I've gone to the first one I think that they've had, and I loved it. For the youth providers, I was in that group. They actually tell you how to recognize the signs of bullying and things that you can do. For the children's side, they actually tell them what they can do to go against bullying or to stop the bullying. And oftentimes, you just have to speak up to a bully. Basically tell them to stop. Let them know that basically they're not going to bully you and it's not going to happen. And sometimes it deters them from actually doing the bullying.
And if you had one message for the people that are watching the show, one thing to take away in the next minute, what would it be?
It would be to listen. Listen to your children and what's going on. Stay involved in school and their activities. Notice their changes. Notice if they're going from being a bubbly person to a withdrawn child. It's all about keeping your eyes open, because the quicker you can recognize what's going on, the quicker you can stop it from happening.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us for Paths of Bullying. We hope the information was helpful. For more information on how to combat bullying, visit the Family Justice Center website at www.montgomerycountymaryland.gov/FJC/contact.html.